everybody, and thank you for joining us. I want to speak to you today about the Yaroomba Beach appeal decision that was handed down yesterday. Late yesterday afternoon, Council was notified of the decision by the Planning and Environment Court in relation to the appeal lodged by Development Watch and the Sunshine Coast Environment Council in relation to Council's decision to approve the development application for the Yaroomba Beach development proposed by Sekisui House. In essence, Judge Kefford has found the proposed development should be approved subject to the conditions in Council's original decision notice, but with amendments recommended by the Turtle experts. In doing so, the court has said that it will order the appeals be dismissed. The judgment is lengthy at some 125 pages, and Council's Legal Services branch is currently reviewing the decision to confirm the actions required in order to deliver the judgment and conditions by the 8th of June, for the purpose of the court making final orders on the matter on June 15. Council considered the Yaroomba Beach development application on the 21st of June 2018, almost 2 years ago, and based on the recommendations of our professional planning staff, approved the application with conditions. It would be fair to say that this application was subject to extensive and rigorous assessment by Council staff, and I want to acknowledge their efforts and their professionalism in doing so. While we're still reviewing the decision, what is clear is that Council made the correct decision in 2018, and that has now been upheld by the Planning and Environment Court. It is also noted that in her decision, Judge Kefford accepted Council's submissions that the proposed development is in the public interest, and in fact stated in all of the circumstances of this case, an approval of the proposed development is in the public interest. I'm advised that the conditions that will be attached to the approval will be those that have already been issued by Council, with some variations in accord with the terms of the court decision. As I said, the decision is still being reviewed, but I'm advised the variations relate to turtle nesting and traffic and road access conditions. I'm also advised that the judgment does not contemplate any substantive change to the development. In terms of when the development will commence, that is a matter for the applicant, Sekisui House, but I would hope that they are in a position to move quickly once the final approval is in place, given the important stimulus that this project will provide to our region and to assist in the development through COVID-19 recovery phase. I'm happy to take any questions.
Development Watch says it's not over yet and they're currently looking into any appeal options. What's your take on that?
Yeah, look, I understand in the justice system that there is the option for the appellants to seek a further appeal, but I understand from my limited knowledge of the law that that is based on any errors made by the judge and would need to be substantial.
This has been a very, very lengthy process. In terms of the fight from Council to ensure that it does go ahead, what are the true benefits of this project for Yaroomba and for the region as a whole?
Well, this would see the first genuine five-star hotel constructed on the Sunshine Coast in the last 30 years. It would see 400 to 500 jobs in construction and ongoing. It will, provide new facilities for people coming to the Sunshine Coast for tourism purposes. And these are all the reasons why Council, by a majority decision, approved the officer's recommendation back in 2018. I mean, I don't think anyone should be left in any doubt that, the big challenge for Council is making decisions, difficult decisions that most other people would not want to have to make. But to Council's credit, we assessed all of the information, all of the expert material that was provided by our Council officers, and by a majority, Council approved the development. That approval has now been confirmed in the Planning and Environment Court.
Mayor, has this been a costly exercise for council? And is the cost just by council, or is there other costs that are being borne by the community as a whole and by the developers?
Yeah, look, certainly there's a cost whenever you're involved in legal proceedings, but what's important is council has a responsibility to support its staff and the decisions it makes. To not do so would not give confidence to anybody. I mean, this was a very, very rigorous assessment undertaken by our staff. No stone was left unturned, and they came down in support of the development. By majority, councillors endorsed that recommendation, and the court action would be at a considerable cost. But what's important is that I guess that really is a matter for the acting CEO. I mean, councillors don't prosecute cases or defend cases. We're there to make decisions on behalf of our community. We made that decision. That decision has now been upheld in the court.
Those extra conditions, or those confirmed conditions, or those slightly changed conditions, do you think they addressed some of the concerns that these groups had, especially over things like turtles?
Well, without knowing exactly the detail, because our officers are still going through the report, I would hope that those people who are concerned about impact on the turtles will be satisfied by the result. I hope those people who are concerned by issues around traffic congestion and the like will also be satisfied by the result. But that'll be a matter for them to decide once they've read the judgment as well.
For the other people on the other side of the fence here, and for those watching tonight, what would your message be to them who still feel hard done by here?
Well, I mean, this is a serious business. I accept that. And I accept that a lot of people in that area consider themselves as having a particular lifestyle. Notwithstanding the impact of the Hyatt Coolum resort on that area, built in the late 1980s, it had been a provider of significant employment and opportunity. The fact that it's been closed now for such a long time has deprived a lot of people in that area of a job. It's deprived a lot of producers and suppliers of trade. So to see a new hotel, a 5-star Western resort, built effectively across the road, I think is generally a good outcome for that area. Yes, there'll be more people there. Whether there'll be more than were there when the Hyatt Coolum was operating at its peak, I don't know. But all that has been considered by our officers and now by the Planning and Environment Court, and they support Council's decision.
Mayor, from time to time people are unhappy with major decisions that Council's made, especially where they're around town plans and things like that. With the town plan coming up for review, would you hope that this might also be a catalyst for people to get more involved and for the general public to have a greater understanding of that plan and what it means, so that maybe some of these things could be avoided in the future?
Look, I'm happy to, and I've said this before, happy to work with the community around how we develop the next plan. The difficulty is we don't have a crystal ball. Nobody can see into the future and see what's going to happen. Who of us would have predicted a pandemic a decade ago, even 5 years ago? So these are the things that happen that cause us to need flexibility. There are opportunities that come to light that were never even considered when plans were being completed. So that's where the performance standards that exist within the approval town plan, that's why they're so important, and allow councillors to take the necessary steps to make the difficult decisions that ultimately produce the best outcome. Now again, there'll be people who disagree with that, and in this business it's impossible to get everybody on side, but I think again I thank the staff for the hard work they did, the councillors who made the difficult decision, and now the court for very carefully analysing all elements of the case and dismissing the appeal.
Thank you.
All right.